What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video. So guys, listen, I had a subscriber send me an email. Now this subscriber was actually in my live stream that I did 2 days ago, a day ago. And shout out to everybody that joined that live stream, that asked questions, that showed super chat support. Really and greatly appreciate all of that. And I wanted to be able to answer this young brother's question. I told him to email me because I just needed more information regarding his situation. All right, so he had emailed me and I want to be able to answer his question. All right, so I'll get right into the email right now. So title of the email is Deciding on a Major as a Second-Year College Student. All right, so it says, hello, sir. I am Peace 27. I loved your stream from yesterday. Appreciate it, Peace. I am still thinking about majoring in international business and a language, or going all out and focusing just on languages. I have begun my second year in Queens College, so I'm starting to worry. I also like human resources, but this school doesn't offer it. I guess I am hoping that you can give me some advice because I am feeling lost and that I cannot decide on a major and I don't really have friends. My parents are starting to get impatient as well, so I'm feeling the pressure. If you have time, I hope you can give me some advice. Thanks and have a good night. Shout out to you, Peace. Showed a lot of love and support during that live stream, and I tried to answer as much as I could during the live stream based on the information I know. But now that I know more information, we can get into it. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to say is I love that you're worrying. I don't love necessarily that you're feeling the anxiety and the pressure of that worrying, but I love that you're worrying in a sense that if you weren't worrying, that's when I would be concerned, because you're, and shout out to Queens College. I actually grew up not too far away from Queens College, but you are paying a certain amount of money to learn a certain skills and develop skill sets to take you into the rest of your career. And that can be a very expensive process, and especially if your parents are fitting that bill, you want to be able to make the best solution or decision for yourself. It's good to be proactive regarding this as opposed to retroactive, right? Picking up the pieces at a later date. I also want you to understand that, as I've gone on my path and I've tried to make more calculated decisions in narrowing down my scope of focus, I always felt that level of anxiety choosing and picking the next step that was within this scope that was gradually narrowing, right? And the thing is that you want to be able to pick something not just to set yourself up for the next 2 years and next 4 years, but potentially could set you up for the rest of your life, because that will be the biggest return on your investment. So I appreciate that this is all going through your mind. The next thing that I wanted to touch on is, I want you to think to what's really important, after you graduate from school. Something that was really important for me was being able to stand on my own 2 feet without the support of loved ones, right? And being able to do that, I wanted to select a career that was going to give me a lot of money going into the future, right? And B, had an opportunity for substantial career growth. Now, there's a lot of people that go to school and they want to focus on a passion, and that's fine. Sometimes though, what you need to understand is that your passion may not align up to what your goals are. Now, I know very early on I had clear financial goals. Part of the reason is as to why I selected a business degree in order to pursue forward, because I know that the skill sets that I would learn within that would be paying me far into my future. And I wanted to select something that was wide enough, that had enough scope where I can choose a bunch of different things within that degree to pursue forward, right? So going back to your choice of whether or not you wanted to focus on languages, and keep in mind, I'm talking to you today as if you were standing right in front of me, right? If I was mentoring you and you were right in front of me, I'm talking to you right then. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, right? when you think about languages, what you really have to think through is, what is the short and the long-term financial goals that you're trying to reach? Now, if you have buckets of money around, or your family has buckets of money, and they can help support you as well, then that's fine. But if you do just quick Google searches to see, how much you can get paid off of languages degrees, or what are the type of job opportunities that are available to you, I think it'll be able to provide you a little bit more information on what that is. Whether it's a language degree and you're teaching, whether it's in the United States or teaching abroad, whether or not you're an interpreter, these are not really high-paying jobs, or the range of what you can make off of these jobs is not as high as if you added business, or if you were pursuing a STEM degree, right? Science, technology, engineering, or math, right? It's just not as in demand. Another thing that you need to think about is, how much longer is the career path that you're going to choose? Is it going to be needed? And I say that to say, a couple of years ago, and let me tell you guys a quick short story. I actually shared this on the live stream as well. This was like maybe 3 years ago. I went on a date with a young lady that I met off of Tinder. Now, when I'm communicating with her off of Tinder, she's talking to me in completely French, right? Her profile was in French. And I was in the United States. Profile was in French, and she's writing to me in French. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I would take her entire conversation, and then I would put it into Google Translate and read it. And then I'd write back in Google Translate, and then I'd send it back to her, right? And I thought that she understood that I don't speak French. We ended up linking up. She didn't speak any English. So literally no English whatsoever. I had to put, and I might actually upload a video of me showing this, but I actually caught this on video because it was such a funny situation. But like, I actually put the phone on the table, and within the app Google Translator, it has a open listening capability where it's just listening to words and translating it into English or vice versa. So literally, I would just put it on the table, and then the Google was the intermediary as I was talking to her, so we can both understand the languages, right? I say that to say that there's a component of a language degree that might be stamped out by technology in the future, and you also got to think towards, these new Bluetooth earbuds, the AirPods. I know Samsung just came out with a version as well, where they're like little hearing aids. Now, if they they're working on the functionality where these little hearing aids can hear and interpret other languages and then auto translate it directly in your ear. So again, spending a lot of time on focusing on a degree that might be stamped out by technology relatively soon is something that you also have to think about as well. Now, if that's your passion, I get it. I would say that minor that you're thinking about in international business, that's a strong minor. That's a very strong minor. Or if you're double majoring, that's a very strong major. Let me explain why that's a strong major. Because again, thinking back to opening the scope or the horizon of options that are available to you is very important. The thing is, with international business, you're essentially getting a business degree, but then you can stamp on the international with it. Now, I'd also say to you, do you want to go abroad? Do you want to get out the United States? So I wouldn't suggest you getting an international business degree unless you are considering going international, right? Now, the beautiful thing about getting an international business degree is you don't have to go international for that. And in fact, you still have that business title on it. So you're still gaining the relevant skills where you can use a business degree internal in the United States. Now, something else that you mentioned in your message is that you're considering human resources, like you like human resources. Don't be worried that your school doesn't offer a human resources degree. If I was to think towards the organization that I work in, I'd take a guess and say 20 to 30% of the folks that work in human resources have a human resources degree. I think it's very applicable that if you have an international business degree and language degree, right, you can create the transferable skills to get you into human resources. You just have to focus on your why and then focus on the story that makes sense for that. For example, you could say something like, I got an international business degree in this language undergrad, and the reason why I got that was fill in your blank, your whatever it means to you, which is your purpose, which is your why. Whether it be something like, I just love to work with people, and by working with people and understanding their language, you get to find out more about who they are and what drives them. That's an immediate transferable skill towards human resources, because you have to understand and learn about people. There's also a diversity focus in that as well. These organizations love people that have experience dealing with very diverse people, right? And showing that, I took these different classes and learned from these different ethnicities so much that I know and understand and love their languages, and I can speak a couple of languages, right? And then showing that transferable skill and calling it out on your resume, and then also introducing that into your why statements. As a human resources executive, I'm gonna be like, oh, this person, Piece 27, got the juice. You see what I'm saying to you? So it's all about your story. I mean, there's people with engineering degrees that are currently in human resources, but they had a story as to how and why they made it sense to them. That's because they focused in on their purpose, their passion, their meaning in life, settled on their why, and then created the stories, right? Created the elevator pitch. And if they came up to someone in a career fair or a conference, or if they applied online and they got a call, they can tie the disparate ideas and work experiences and degrees together in order for it to make sense to them. Another thing that I would challenge from you is, what else are you doing with your time outside of the degrees that you want to be focused in on? I know when I look at a resume, I look at what leadership have they done outside of their major, right? What time have they focused in on to lead something else? And that's different than being a member of an activity or some type of organization. It's been a leader, had led something, had been even a subcommittee leader, and had taken an idea into fruition, right? And can talk through that, right? Because it's one thing to be at school and you're just working on the table stakes, which is your major, and I can read that on your page and I can ask you questions. But when I really see a hunger and passion that you're following outside of that, that's when I think to myself, oh, this person is someone who's going to go above and beyond to get the job done, because they don't have to be doing this, but they are doing this, right? And you love to see that passion, whether it's for your degree or something that you're pursuing outside of your degree. And let me tell you something, right? And I'm gonna be extra clear. I'm gonna be extra clear and extra focused with you right now. This is your time to be hungry. This is the time to go above and beyond what you see the people next to you going. I want you to stay crazy hungry. I want you to stay crazy consistent. I don't want you to stop. This is when you go hard. This is how your parents' hard-earned money. Here's how you pay them back. Here's how you pay them back. You go above and beyond. Now I know you're probably saying, a double major, extracurricular activities, cut all the fuss out your life. Cut all the anchors out your life. Cut all that TV out your life. Focus. Focus, because you got hungry motherfuckers out there like me who are focused, right? And you're competing with me. You can't compete with me unless you're going above and beyond. You understand what I'm saying? You competing, bump me, because we're not gonna be in the same, competing for the same jobs, but you're competing with those like me, doing all of these extra things. Still have your fun, still have your movie time, still have, if you got like one or two, ladies in your car log, by all means, but be very intentional with your time. Cut all of the BS out as much as you can and focus. Trust me, 2 to 3 years in your life going above and beyond, that will be noticed and it'll be worth it. This is your time to invest in yourself. Make yourself, make your family proud, make the people around you proud, and be that example. Be that cut above the rest. So just to wrap up, I think your time in college, it's your time to gain a basis of knowledge and information wide enough in scope to take you multiple years into the future. What I detract from is people who are super narrow focused at 19, 20, 21 years old. You're young. You're super young. You have a lot more years on this planet, God willing, right? So now is the time. Get that double major. That's my suggestion. Get that double major for a bunch of different reasons. You know, it's going to increase your earning potential. It's not something that is going to be going away anytime soon. But as you get all these things, you know, and as you do those extracurricular activities, those leadership activities, keep on honing in on your meaning. Keep on honing in on your why. Create, you know, take out a book. You know, go to the store when you're done watching this video. Go to a store, go to a CVS, get a notebook. Within that notebook, title that notebook, My Why. What I want you to write in that notebook is the things that make you smile. You know, it seems like connecting with people is one of those things that make you smile. Write that down in your notebook. Every time that something makes you smile, write that thing down. I mean, like truly smile. That gives you that inner smile as well. Things that really make you happy. Keep on writing it down in that notebook. Do that for a couple of months. You actually may not have that much time to pick because your parents are pissed, right? Because you haven't picked yet. But just continue to write. Continue to jot those things down. And then make categories for these different things. How would you categorize them together? It's very important that you do that because you're coming up with categories that fit into your why, that fit into your purpose. Keep on jotting those things down. But do that activity at an iterative cadence throughout your life. You have to keep on recentering on your why because you might go through an experience that's a new why for you, you know? You might go through something that's new, brand new, and then that's an extra why statement for you. Keep on writing those things down, create those transferable skills, document those transferable skills, and include those in your story. Much love, much peace to you, Peace 27, no pun intended. All right, any extra questions, any extra comments, any extra concerns, you let me know. Folks that are watching this video, I hope you learned something from this. If you did, if you want to comment, if you want to help the young brother out, write it down in the comment section box down below. I'm sure he's going to be down there checking all your information out as well. All right, until next time, YouTube. Peace.